Hey guys, um, it's been a little while. Um, I kind of wanted to come on here today and talk about something that's been on my mind. Um, and it's been about marriage actually and dating, depending on where you are, where you are in your life. Um, so I have been thinking about how before people get married, while they're dating or in between dating and getting married and engaged and whatever, how so many couples don't get advice about marriage and how there are going to be ups and downs and how there are going to be struggles from time to time, how there are going to be disagreements, and how at the end of the day, marriage isn't going to be perfect and it never will. Um, I talk to people from time to time, like in group sessions and stuff, like in church and stuff in the past, where I we have people talking all the time about, marriage is tough. Marriage, it's never perfect. And so we go to counseling, and me and my wife went to pre-counseling before we got married, just, so we were prepared. But during that time, never once did we talk about how marriage is not easy and marriage is not perfect. And I think people that aren't married yet need to know that. People that are engaged or dating, that relationships or marriages are not perfect. I thought about this yesterday and it's true. Was your life perfect before you got married or before you started dating? No. It's because life isn't perfect. And so you're melting two lives together and you expect it to be perfect all of a sudden? No. No. There's going to be struggles. There's going to be all those things I just talked about. Disagreements. Um, Big or small now. I don't know. I don't know everyone's different situations obviously, but whatever it is, you're going to go through something. And you know, I bring this up because I haven't been perfect. And this is me personally. Like, there's things about myself that I've wanted to change, and I have been. I've been changing a lot. I talked about in my past videos that I've been too analytical, too, like, you know, uppity about myself in the past, um, and just not who I wanted to be. And so I changed a lot of those things about myself, and I don't correct people anymore like I used to all the time. I don't. I'm just not. I'm just not that way anymore. However, there are other things I need to work on. Like, and it's the small things. It's not so much big things, but those small things end up building and building, and it ends up being a big thing. And so I'm trying to work on these things to be a better husband and um, just just being a better person in general, whether it's being around my wife or being around friends and family. Like, I need to be better in my areas. Like, another example would be, when I didn't get along with my dad for a long time and I changed a lot of things. I'm not perfect still, but I'm getting there. and it's and it's way better than it ever was. I mean, it's night and day with my dad, and I'm getting to be that way with my personality traits that I don't like. I'm getting better with that, with my wife and my and things that I I just want to be better at. Another example I just thought about now is asking people how they are instead of always kind of talking about me. And I don't mean that so much derogatory, but I get to talking so much and I'm like, sometimes I can forget what I want to say, and so I just keep going and going. I don't do it in a mean way. I just sometimes I talk too much. And so I've become better at that recently in the last, year or so, and just wanting to know how people's, how they're doing in their families, and how things are going. So that's another one. So the main one is marriage. Is just that we need to be aware that marriage is not perfect, guys. It never is. I know a lot of people, personally, that have gotten divorced, and I'd like to think that if we, as married couples, maybe, just maybe, if we tried to think about the things that we could have done, maybe we could have saved our marriages, saved our relationships, whatever the case may be. I'm not calling one out because I don't know anyone's situation, but and I know every situation is different, but this is just, or do you take this as advice or just me talking about marriage in general? Just think about the things that, think about how other people feel when you might say something that may not come across uh, nice, or just, I don't know. This is what I've been thinking about lately, though. Just accepting the fact that marriage isn't perfect, accepting that I'm not perfect, and continuing to move forward and being better every day with whatever it is that I'm working on with my marriage or my friends and family that I need to be better at. The one I just mentioned this, but the one I'm really working on is just asking how people are doing, being there for people, um, and expecting nothing back. You know, I care about people a lot, and I sometimes don't always show it very well, just because I'm not asking how people are doing and things like that. And I talk to people and I just sometimes forget. But at the end of the day, um, just trying to be a better person every day. Whether it's you or your spouse, whoever it is that needs to work on things, like it goes both ways. Like it's not a one-way street. Believe me, like we all have things we have to work on. And it's just important. It's real important to know about these things and know that, again, we are not perfect. So, however you guys, if any of you are watching, however you take this video, again, I mean, no, I'm not calling anyone out. I don't know anyone's situation, but this is what I've been thinking about. And I'm blessed to have been married now for almost 9 years in September. Um, I've been blessed to be able to know my wife, to grow with my wife, learn about her, learn about the things that maybe I'm not so good at and the things I need to get better at. Um, and I wouldn't change it for anything else. Because had I, hypothetically been with someone else and they didn't tell me these things and they just let things slide and just left, I wouldn't have known these things about myself. Being too analytical, being too at correcting people. And I mean, I can't imagine being in a relationship where people aren't telling you these things. Like, people do sweep small things under the rug and then they just get sick of it and leave. And those are the things that I have struggled with. Luckily, I've gotten much better at them. So, it's just stuff like that. I don't consider my issues so much. They're not big problems, but they're not small problems either. They're kind of in the middle. They're just quirks about myself I do not like. And guess what? When you don't address them, they just pile up and pile up and pile up. And then it becomes a big issue. So, because I'm nipping these things in the butt, things have been much better. And, you know, so yeah. Anyways, guys, these are just my 2 cents. I know I've been rambling on for a little bit here, and maybe some of this doesn't make any sense to you guys, and maybe some of it does. But my advice for anyone that is getting married or is about to get married, if you are watching this, or if you're dating and you're thinking about marriage, just know that marriage is not perfect. It is a journey. Think of marriage as a journey. You learn and grow, and it's you go through your ups and downs just like you would if you were single, but now you're with your husband or wife, and just know again that life is not perfect, your marriage is not perfect, no one is perfect. So there will be ups and downs, there will be heartache, there will be, you know, all that kind of stuff that whatever you're going through, just know that if you communicate with your spouse, everything's going to be okay. But don't ever not communicate. If you have something you need to get off your chest, mention it. If there's something that you're bothered by something, mention it. Because it's not worth divorcing over. It's not worth losing someone over. Whether you're dating or in a marriage, it's really, it's similar, but it's not, because it's just when you're married, it's different. People can tell you it's the same and it's similar, but it's not. It's not. And people that tell you that they never argue or they never have disagreements, please stop being naive. Maybe you disagree less than someone else, sure, but there's other things, I promise you, that you're going through in your marriage. No marriage is ever perfect. I've had people come up to me and go, "Our relationship is great. We never fight." And then I see them later on. I'm like, "Come on now. Come on now." All I'm asking is for people to be honest with themselves. So, anyways, guys, that's just my 2 cents on marriage and how I think we can all hopefully help each other, and just know again and marriage is not perfect. And I hope whoever watches this understands what I'm talking about and understands what I'm saying. But anyways, could have forgot to say something here, but I'm gonna head out and spend some time with my dog out here, and then go back inside. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening as always.